Hello, Chuck.Estos here. Today I will be covering almost everything you need to know about cold sorceresses. Starting with Frost Nova, Ice Barrage, Blizzard and Frozen Orb. I will start with the gear setup, which will be only slightly different depending on the type of skill you will be using, as some will require a more faster cast rate and others will make better use of maximum block. But enough chit chat, let's get started. Sitting on my head is Nightwing's Veil. This is by far the best in slot for Cold Sorceress. Nightwing will give us most damage of any elms with 2 skills and 6 to 12% increased cold damage and also reducing enemy resistance by 4 to 8%, and the 20 dexterity will help with the max block setup. For the cold source, I will not suggest a cold circlet here simply because the damage and utility of both will be so small in difference that Nightwing should always be a priority unless you've got some insane sick rolls on that circlet. Then I use Maras. 2 skills, 30 to all resistances. This is a really safe option to pick. Otherwise, it will be outshined by some Great Roar or Crafted enemies giving 2 skills, faster cast rate, all resistances, and Strange or Dexterity. I will cover the faster cast rate breakpoints a bit further, but if you don't need the extra FCR, just take Maras. There are quite a lot of options for the boots depending on the rest of your gear mostly. First, if you couldn't get any cannot be frozen corruptions anywhere, Marrowwalk boots will be the best in that case. Otherwise, those are the worst of the 4 options I will propose. If you want some extra magic find, War Travelers will always be there for you, but keep in mind you need cannot be frozen somewhere else. Then, if you plan for a max block setup, Waterwalk will be the best boost for you. Dexterity, a ton of life, and faster block rate. If you do not hit 48 faster block rate breakpoint, I would recommend against using max block. Finally, Sandstorm Trek. If you aren't going max block, you are going to want some faster hit recovery to compensate that, so you don't get stun locked into recovery animation. As for the rings, I am using 2 Stone of Jordan. But in case you need some extra faster cast rate, using a FCR ring with Strange and all resistances is also an amazing choice. The only belt for you so you don't lose your skirt while teleporting around, Arak provides faster cast rate and +1 to all skills while increasing our maximum mana. There are simply no better option damage wise. As for your armor, there are 2 options in my opinion. One is Viper Magi, which will provide resistances, faster cast rate, and +1 to all skills. Ideally, you want to use this if you need extra faster cast rate, and with good corruption, this armor will also be the best in slot damage wise. But in case you need to be extra tanky, Chain of Honor is also great with an insane 65 to all resistances, some magic find, and reduced physical damage. The gloves also only really have 2 options. Either you take Mage Fist to increase your cast rate, or you take Chances for some extra magic find. A side option, if you cannot get max block because you lack some gear, Blood Fist are excellent with life and 30 faster hit recovery. If you want to flex your riches, Meng Song Staff with 6 cold facet is an amazing choice. With +6 skills, 50 faster cast rate, while also reducing enemy cold resistance, it's a great staff. Otherwise, you want to use the best in slot weapon, which is Death Fathom. 3 2 skills, 30 faster cast rate, increased cold damage, and resistances, this is a must have. Finally, you could use Doom Runeward, which provides 2 to all skills, and Holy Freeze Aura. This is simply the best option for a defensive setup, but at the cost of your own damage. Using these, I lose about 35% damage, which is still quite a lot. The shield has 2 options. Lidless will provide the best damage on top of 20 faster cast rate, but with this shield I will advise not going max block as it will require too many stat points to make it worthwhile. The other option will be Gurki's shield with +1 to all skills instead of 2, but grants resistances, reduced damage, and a lot of block rate. As mentioned earlier, if you are going max block, consider throwing 2 shells into the shield. With Waterwalks, you will reach the 48 breakpoint for the faster block rate. On swap, you want to be using Call to Arms. The battle command will increase your damage, and battle order will increase both your HP and your mana. Lidless shield or another shield with 2 or 3 skills will be the best with CTA. Obviously, the charms will all be called Skiller's Grand Charms, and the small ones should be Resistance, Life, or Faster Hit Recovery. So, depending on the skills you are using, I recommend going for either 63 faster cast rate or 105. Obviously, if you can reach 200, it's always better unless you need to sacrifice too much to reach it. For Frost Nova, you want 105, and Ice Barrage, you also want 105. For Frozen Orb and Blizzard, 63 will be enough because there is a slight delay when using those skills. Since the first skill I will be showcasing is Frost Nova, I will be going for max block for extra survivability. Since the use of Frost Nova you need to be surrounded by monsters, it will be much safer that way. So you want enough strength to equip gear, enough dex for max block and everything else into a vitality. So here is some gameplay of the Frost Nova build. If you aren't subscribed yet, it's an amazing time to do so, and if you enjoy my videos, well, you should be blasting that like button. The skill setup is 20 Frost Nova, 20 Ice Bolt, 20 Shiver Armor, 20 Cold Mastery, then you want 1 point into Teleport and 20 points into Warmth. The next skill is Blizzard. You want 20 points into Blizzard, obviously, Glacial Spike, Ice Bolt, Cold Mastery, 1 to Teleport and everything else into Warmth. As previously mentioned, you won't be needing as much faster cast rate for this build, so simply go with what you are comfortable with to teleport. In my opinion, this build is a bit lacking when trying to earn packs of monsters. They will oftenly walk right through the blizzard and not get hit at all or be completely destroyed before ever reaching you. Personally, I'm not a great fan of 50-50s and I dislike using blizzard against anything besides bosses. On the other hand, it is plenty strong to fight bosses, so if you prefer to hunt Mephisto and Andariel all week, this may be for you. Next build is Frozen Orb, so max it, Cold Mastery, Ice Blast, Ice Bolt, 1 to teleport and everything else to warm. This build seems great at everything, killing monster pack, bosses, but in my opinion Frost Nova is still better than Frozen Orb. But Frozen Orb on the other end is much safer to use and you can get away without using max block. Finally, we are ending with Ice Barrage, so put 20 points into it, 20 into Cold Mastery, Glacial Spike, Ice Bolt, 1 to Teleport, and everything else into Warm. By the way, both Blizzard and Ice Barrage use the same synergies, so perhaps there could be something to work with here, but we will need to drop Warm. Perhaps using Blizzard on the left click and Ice Barrage on the right click, will make for a good build, but as of now Ice Barrage is very underwhelming in comparison, but still stronger than Blizzard. Keep in mind though, the skill do shotgun, so if all spikes hit the same target, it will receive the whole 5 spike damage. So it's a great boss killer, sadly still not as strong as neither Frost Nova or Frozen Orb. So here is my ranking, with the list of the areas you can farm with those builds. Wow, you made it to the end! I can feel a connection between us. Here, I'll share with you a picture of my best friend. While this video is a bit different than my usual builds, if you all enjoy this kind of videos, I could introduce more of them in between my meme builds from time to time, I wouldn't mind. And also, thank you all so much for watching, and until next stream or video, take care and bye bye!